Good morning and welcome to today's morning movement mobility session. Per usual, this is going to be 20 to 30 minutes of gentle movement designed to warm up your body, help you feel a little bit more mobile and limber as you head into your day. All that you'll need is your body, a mat or a comfy surface to lie on, and maybe a wall or a chair, something to use for a little bit of balance support. So if you're ready, we'll start with our first movement, which is going to be warming up the neck. I've gotten a lot of feedback that you guys really like the neck mobility, so we're starting with that today. It's first going to be looking up at the ceiling as much as is comfortable, then looking down and tucking your chin as much as you can, and just going back and forth between those two movements. And so really take your time with this. And if you feel like it's not comfortable to really look up too far, then just gently raise up as high as you can with your chin and then tuck your chin down and really think about pulling that chin towards your collarbone. So again, lifting up and tucking down, almost like you're creating a double chin when you look all the way down. Good. Up and down. One more time. Up and down. Good. All right. Easy and simple for our first one. Second one is where you'll want just a little bit of balance support for our ankle circles. This one is going to be balancing on one leg, and you just want your other leg lifted off of the ground. It doesn't have to even be that high, just so you have clearance. And then pick either direction. You're just going to trace a circle with your toes, trying to make it as smooth as you can and as slow as you can. There's a lot of temptation just to use momentum to kind of work through some of those sticky points that you might feel. Now go the other direction. You might notice one is quite a bit more challenging than the other, but really try to work on those sticky points where you notice that the joint just kind of wants to bypass that mobility. It's okay if you can't do a fully smooth circle, but just have that intent on trying to make it as smooth as you can, and it'll get smoother as you go. All right, then switch to the other side. Drawing that big circle, bringing your toe up to the side, to the floor, to the other side, and back up. Even takes a little bit of concentration. It's good body awareness. Draw one more circle, and then now we'll go the other way. You might notice that one side, for me, my right, feels a little bit easier than the other. We just have more coordinated sides, more mobile sides, more flexible sides, stronger sides. All that is okay. That's often why it's good to let each side work independently. Then rest. Good. Alrighty. And our last one is going to be a prisoner hands position twist. So for this one, I have my hands behind my head, and then I'm going to rotate as far as is comfortable, and then pass back through center and rotate to the other side. So kind of listen to your body on that twist. And I'm not getting any extra range of motion by pulling with my elbows or pulling on my head. My hands are just gently resting there. They're not even really interlocked or pulling. They just help create this nice open torso, open shoulder position as we do that twist. We'll do one more time to each side. And pass through, last one. And rest. Very good. Alrighty, then per usual, we'll repeat all of these one more time. I'll just give you a side view of my neck looking up and down for our first one. So again, just looking up, maybe seeing if you can get a little extra range of motion. But again, you don't have to force it. Just gently, and the range of motion isn't coming from anywhere else. Sometimes with neck, shoulder, and back things, we can have a tendency to let that movement creep into other parts, or you might want to like arch your back as you lift up, but really keep everything else locked. That movement is just coming from your neck joint. Up, down and tuck, up, down and tuck. One more. And down and tuck. Good. Learning that's a better hair up exercise than hair down exercise. Alrighty, second one is back to our ankle circles. So grab your balance support as needed, and then foot off the ground. Choose your first direction. 3, we're gonna do 6, 4, slow speed, 5, and 6. Good. If you get more circles than I do, you need to slow it down. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. All right, other side. Remind yourself to go slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Other way. I kind of caught myself on this side going a little fast on the top part. So just notice if there's any part of the movement that you want to slow down. 2 more. Then rest. Very good. Alrighty. And then our third one, that prisoner hand twist, starting here. Rotate, let your eyes follow you with the twist. So looking towards your back elbow as you twist. Again, only going as far as your body lets you know is okay. And I'm trying not to let the extra rotation come from my legs or bending my knees and keeping them straight. And I'm really keeping the shoulder position as open, not closed off as I can. Taking your time. Mobility is great at forcing you to slow down a little bit and control the movement. This will be our last one. And other side. And rest. Very nice. All right, first circuit done. Second circuit is going down to the floor. So just make yourself comfortable and find your way onto a yoga mat or the carpet. We're going to start with some hip mobility with a 90-90 hip mobility move. For this one, if you needed your back against the wall for support, you could do that. But usually just hands behind you is fine. And then my feet are about shoulder width apart, my feet on the ground. Staying tall, I'm going to drop my knees towards the floor. Yours may not make it all the way to the ground, and that's totally okay. You'll notice I'm kind of shifting as I drop the legs, letting that hand come up off the ground as I lean forward a little bit. So a bit of a rocking motion over to one side and back through. So kind of a nice rhythm to this one. If you notice that it really just feels comfortable to have your legs end right about here, you can still do a bit of that forward lean. You're just not letting your knees drop all the way to the ground. So just go in whatever range of motion is comfortable for you. Alrighty, and rest. But our second one is going to be a crescent position, lying all the way down. And so we're going to start by having our hands over our head and my legs fully extended. And then we're going to just walk your legs to the side. So if I move my legs to the left, I'm also going to move my hands to the left. And the good news is you just have to hold this position. So I'm kind of making a crescent or a C shape, and I'm reaching my hands up. If your hands need to be off the ground for this, that's okay. Or if your arms need to be bent, really trying to get an active stretch through this side. We're not holding it too long. We're coming back to the center. And then move your legs to the right, hands to the right and reach. Making that C shape. And then coming back to center. We'll do that one more time on each side. Kind of makes it mobility more than stretching, is that we're not just staying in that static position forever. We're coming back to center, and now we're returning to that right side. Making that C shape. Really reach the arms overhead. Should feel a little oblique stretch. And back to center. Very good. Then slowly bring yourself up and move into a tabletop position for our third exercise. This one is going to be a shoulder rotation exercise. These are really good for our rotator cuffs. If you need more cushion for the knee, you could add a pillow. But I have my knees under my hips and my hands under my shoulders. And then I'm bringing this arm out to the side, and I have my arm at 90 degrees. So I have my elbow directly out from my shoulder, and then a 90-degree bend at the elbow. Try to make sure that you have that. And then I'm going to rotate my hand down as far as comfortable, and then up as far as comfortable. Your body will certainly let you know those points. So listen to them while keeping that elbow directly out from my shoulder and 90 degrees at the elbow. Real smooth, controlled, isolating that movement. Might notice it's a little bit of core work for the rest of the body. One more. And rest. Good, then other side. I'll show you on this side, otherwise you can't really see anything. So that elbow directly out. Rotate. Nice and smooth and slow. Rotate. Might be a little more of a tendency to hold your breath on this one. So just make sure that you're inhaling and exhaling, getting that oxygen to the body. Taking your time. Make sure your wrist isn't doing anything funky. It's not curled, it's not flicked, it's just straight. One more. And rest. Very good. Alrighty, then take a moment, come back to our seated position, grab a sip of water if you need to, and we'll go through these one more time. So hands again are behind you, feet are wide. I'm not moving my feet. Sometimes people like to have their feet move around during this one. Focus on keeping your feet in the same place. And it's just your knees that pass back through that starting position over onto the other side. And so how far you move forward at the end is up to you. It could be not at all. You can stay back there, or you can move forward if it feels comfortable. Doing these movements is a great way to really tune into your body, to tune in one side to the other, and just see how things are. And then what's fun is you might notice that eventually you can do more over time. Maybe it started where you couldn't lean forward during this move, but after a few times you're able to. That's always the nice progress we're looking for. And rest. Good. And then back to laying down on the ground for our line crescent shapes, starting with legs straight, arms are up, and then going to the left side first, moving the legs, and then reaching the arms, maybe moving the torso a little bit more than you did last time. Actively reach. Then come back to center. Then move the legs to the right side. Then move the arms, maybe move a little bit of the torso this time. Reach, stretch to those fingertips. Pass back through center. Back over to the left side. Legs move, arms move. Really reach that right arm. Big breath in and out. Back through center. And right side. Reach, stretch, big breath in and out. And back to center. Rest. Very good. Alrighty. And then one more time in that tabletop position for our rotations. So we'll give you a moment to get there. Finding your way to that tabletop. Back is flat, arm is out, even with your shoulder, elbow even with the shoulder, and rotate down and up as far as is comfortable. You'll notice it's not really natural to go much higher here than 90 degrees, but you should really feel that shoulder activate as you try to lift up. We don't want to move anything or compensate when that happens. We just want to feel that engagement at the top. We'll do one more after this on this side, slow control. And rest. Good. You can stay facing the same way. We'll do the other side, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Elbow directly out, 90 degrees. Rotate and lift. Good. Make sure if you notice that elbow dropping, that you lift it back up a little bit. This is definitely one where you might have one creakier or crackier or poppier or just kind of generally funkier feeling shoulder than the other. That's totally okay. Pops are okay. If you feel pain, that would be your sign to stop or reduce the range of motion. But sometimes these things are designed to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but hopefully comfortably uncomfortable. One more. And rest. Very good. Alrighty, we're gonna make our way back up to standing for our third and final circuit. And so with this one, we're gonna move into a bit of hamstring, and we'll need a wall or a chair to hold on to. We're gonna do a single leg Romanian reach to knee up. So again, using something for balance, I'm gonna have my inside leg on the ground, and then I'm going to bend into my right leg as I reach forward, lifting the leg, and then I'm gonna bring my knee up at the top. So again, I'm gonna bend over. Don't have to go very far, just as far as you can control, and then bring your knee up at the top. Reach, going same speed as me. Lift, two more. Reach, I'm bending that right leg, I'm not keeping it locked out. Lift, last one. Reach, and lift. Very nice. Alrighty, other side. You can see how this one feels compared to the other. Hold on to something. Left leg's on the ground. I'm bending into my left knee as I hinge over, reach, and bring the knee up. Reach, and bring the knee forwards. Good. This is one of those ones where mobility sometimes feels like strength training. We're engaging those muscles as we move the joints through a range of motion. Lift, two more. Reach, and lift. Last one. Reach, and lift. Very good. Alrighty, we're staying on the legs for this one with a little ankle mobility, calf strengthening. So again, holding on to something if you want, or you can challenge your balance a little bit if you're confident in that. But we're gonna lift onto the toes and then rock back onto the heels as we lift the toes. So especially that part with the toes lifted is where you might want to hold on to something for balance, or you can be a little bit crazy and test your balance. But again, in this class, we're mostly here to work mobility, so I don't care about the balance quite as much on this one. I'd rather you be able to get more lift of your toes than I would you work on your balance right now. Lift. And lift the toes. We've got one more. Lift. And lift the toes. Perfect. Alrighty, and then our last one, back to shoulders, is going to be a arm reaching forward and pulling back. And this movement is really coming from the shoulder blades. Here I'm retracting them and then I'm protracting them, really focusing on that movement coming from the upper middle back. So I'm reaching my fingertips forward towards the screen and then pulling my shoulder blades back towards the wall. Reach and pull. Nothing else is really moving. My hips aren't moving. It's just the arms. Pull. Last one. Reach and pull. Very nice. Alrighty, we've got just one more time through and then you are done. So first one, that single leg Romanian reach to knee up. We're going to keep that inside leg on the ground, holding on for balance. We're going to reach forward as we stretch into the right hamstring and then bring the knee up to the top. We're going to do 5 of these. Reach, slow control, lift, standing tall when you lift. Reach and lift the knee. 2 more. Reach, stand tall. Last one. Reach and lift the knee. Very good. Alrighty, other side. Take a breath. Get ready. Keep your left leg planted on the ground and bend into that left hamstring as you reach. And repeat on this side. You need to feel a little bit of a stretch in that left hamstring. Focusing on not lowering the shoulders any further than hip level. So notice that's the furthest bend over I'm going to go. Back up. 2 more. Reach. Standing tall. Last one. Try to lean on the wall a little bit less. Reach. And lift. Very good. Alrighty. And then our second one is that calf raise to heel lift. Good one to catch your breath during. Lift up as high as you can. Feet are just a couple inches apart, whatever feels natural. You don't really have to overthink the foot position on this one. Lift onto the toes and rock back on the heels. Maybe seeing if you can get a little extra lift in this second round. Lift and rock. Lift. One more time. Lift and rock it back. Great. Alrighty, one thing left to do. It's our shoulder pro and retractions. Hands are straight in front of you. Engage that core just a little bit. Then we're gonna reach and pull. This is really good for helping your shoulder blades learn how to move around. It's also good for our serratus and our rib cage muscles. When we're doing exercises like rows, we really want to make sure that the shoulder blades are moving, that not all the movement's just in our elbow bending and pulling the arm. So this one is a really great warm up to an exercise like a row to get those shoulder blades practicing on how to move. Good, let's do one more together. Reach and pull. Wonderful. Alrighty, well, I hope you feel nice and warmed up, ready for your day, for whatever sort of movement or activity you have planned. If you want more information, educational posts, or a way to reach out to me, the Instagram for HelloStrengthSeniors is at HelloStrengthSeniors on Instagram. And we'll be back next week, same time, same place for more morning mobility. Hope to see you then.